Hi guys, this is Neha from Enchanting Tarot, and today I welcome you to this beautiful video where I am going to talk about the bad boys of tarot. That's how I call them. Okay, now this is completely a tarot video and I'm going to talk about tarot in Hindi. So if you feel that this is not something that is related to you, feel free to jump off. Okay, and in this video I'm going to talk about some heavy energies that we have in the card. Okay, now when we are working with tarot, what happens is most of the time we are scared about कोई गलत कार्ड तो नहीं आ जाएगा. हमको बहुत बार डर लगता है. जो टैरो रीडर होते हैं वो भी, एंड जो पूछने आ रहे हैं वो भी. ओके कि शायद उनको कभी कोई गलत कार्ड ना आ जाए. एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम पीपल रियली डू नॉट वांट टू गो टू अ टैरो रीडर जस्ट आउट ऑफ दिस फियर. सो आज हम बात करेंगे उन नेगेटिव कार्ड्स की, या आई डोंट से नेगेटिव, आई से हैवी एनर्जीज. ओके, आई से डिफिकल्ट एनर्जीज, डिफिकल्ट लाइफ सिचुएशंस. नाउ टैरो इज नथिंग बट जो हमारे पूरे लाइफ साइकिल में जो भी हमारे उतार चढ़ाव होते हैं उनका एक आईना है. Okay, and when we need to learn our lessons, tarot will show us how brutally honest it can be. Okay, and जब कभी भी आपके रीडिंग में नेगेटिव इमोशंस या नेगेटिव सिचुएशंस या नेगेटिव एनर्जीज से भरे ये कार्ड्स आते हैं, तब हमको एज अ टैरो रीडर वी हैव टू बी अ लिटिल टैक्टफुल. ओके, बिकॉज क्लाइंट भी वो कार्ड्स देख रहा है आपके साथ और शायद वो ज़्यादा डर जाएगा. ओके, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट आई ऑलवेज लाइक टू चर्न माई रीडिंग इन टू अ लिटिल पॉजिटिव. Okay, I would want to give them the messages, I would want to be brutally honest, but at the same time I am not rude. I keep into mind that I do not cross my line. I keep into mind that my job is to make the client more ready, if at all, if there are warning signs about some negative situations or there are some negative responses with regards to a particular reading. Okay, so here I'm going to give you an explanation or probably a positive aspect of a heavy energy card. Okay, so please do not say that these are scary cards, these are negative cards. I personally like to call them as heavy energy cards because ये एनर्जीज को समझ पाना हमारे लिए भी थोड़ा सा मुश्किल होता है. कहीं ना कहीं most of the tarot readers are not confident themselves when it comes to dealing with such cards. Okay, so let me give you a positive aspect of the same card so that जब कभी आप रीडिंग कर रहे हैं और ये कार्ड्स आ रहे हैं, so you can always mold your reading, give a cushion to your clients. ओके, तो सबसे पहला कार्ड जो सभी को डर लगता है जिस कार्ड से, ओके, इवन द क्लाइंट्स आर स्केयर्ड, ओके, इज आवर ओन फेवरेट, द डेथ कार्ड. ओके, नाउ डेथ कार्ड का क्या होता है, पीपल फील एक्चुअली में उनकी डेथ होने वाली है, वो या वो जिनके बारे में पूछ रहे हैं उनकी डेथ होने वाली है. बट एक्चुअली this card is such a beautiful card. Probably this card is one of my favorites in the deck. Okay, so I always feel that there is a need to renew the energy. I always feel when we see the death card, there is a big transformation coming up. I always feel कि transformation आ रहा है and there is resistance to change. Okay, so हम देख रहे हैं कि हमारे सामने लाइफ सिचुएशन चेंज हो रही है. rather than accepting what the situation is and moving on with that, we are resisting the change. So nothing is wrong, nothing is going wrong. It's just that probably when this card comes up, we need to adopt an open mind. Okay, it also says, मेरा ध्यान जब कभी भी डेथ कार्ड पर आता है तो ये छोटे बच्चे पे जाता है. ओके, इफ यू कैन सी देयर इज अ स्मॉल चाइल्ड. ओके, and of course there are corpses, but this small child, okay, is a new cycle. This small child is a beginning of a new cycle, something new happening in the life, some new thing is about to happen, okay. And I always take it in that spirit, okay. Though nobody likes change, change is always painful, but I always say to the clients that change is never painful, resistance to that change is painful. So if you're going to resist it, probably you will end up, sulking more and more, and at the end you would any which ways have to accept it. So might as well accept it now with an open heart and a big smile, okay. So whenever negative cards, I don't say negative, I'm sorry, whenever such kind of cards come, okay, please, you can always transform your readings, okay, and give a better outlook, okay. Now moving on, so we have the devil, ओके. डेविल का मतलब होता है एडिक्शंस, डेविल का मतलब होता है ब्लैक मैजिक, बट आई पर्सनली फील डेविल का मतलब होता है टू मच ऑफ समथिंग, ओके. नाउ माय फादर ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू से एक्सेस ऑफ एवरीथिंग इज बैड, okay. Excess of love is also bad, so excess of everything is bad, and this card depicts nothing but excess, okay. So excess of probably addictions, excess of probably you are not in control of your emotion. That is what I feel, okay. The emotion is controlling you, you are not in control of your emotion, okay. So the urges or the addictions have taken over the person, okay. It need not be a black magic, okay. In very extreme cases it comes as a black magic, but I don't know why people back in India, they always feel that ये कार्ड आया मतलब black magic, okay. ये tarot is not a set formula, tarot is not mathematics, okay. So please keep an open mind. This card need not, I'm not saying will never be, I'm saying 90% of the time this card is never black magic, okay. So whenever devil comes, you can always reframe it as playfulness, you can always reframe it as enjoying the freedom. Too much enjoyment of the freedom, you're taking your freedom to a level where you are literally abusing maybe the freedom given to you, okay. Also you can say that the person is challenging the authority, okay. The person is kind of a little rebellious person, is not somebody who will fall into the society traps, okay. And would love, is a person who is bending the society rules, okay. So that is what I feel about devil, because if you have read about devil or Lucifer, you will see that the other view or the left hand path is also about adopting the freedom, okay. Nobody can enslave you, all right. So I personally feel this is the card about using freedom to an excessive level, okay. A person who is really a rebellious person, a person who is somebody who is abusing the freedom given, okay, and is now maybe addicted to that kind of atmosphere, all right. So it can also be pleasure, it can also be enjoyment, it can also be challenging authorities, okay. So I always take it in that spirit, all right. नेक्स्ट बढ़ते हैं टावर. अब जब भी कभी भी टावर आता है, अगेन पीपल आर वेरी स्केर्ड, बहुत डर जाते हैं लोग, ओके. जो ये कार्ड देख रहा है वो भी, और जो रीड कर रहा है कार्ड्स वो भी, ओके. सो टावर डेफिनेटली मीन्स दैट कुछ डिज़ास्टर होने वाला है, कुछ ऐसा बाहर आएगा जो आप सहन नहीं कर पाओगे, या फिर टावर डेफिनेटली मीन्स कुछ डिस्ट्रक्शन होने वाला है, कुछ तोड़ फोड़ होने वाली है. बट आई पर्सनली बिलीव टावर इज ऑल अबाउट क्रिएटिंग अ स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशन. जो what you thought is right is actually not up to the mark, okay. Needs more of your input, needs more of your research, okay. what you see on the face value is not good enough. You need to dig it deeper. That is how I take this card as. Okay, so when you get Tower, always feel that there's some illusion created, and you need to dive deeper to see कि actually में ऐसा है क्या. Okay, so I believe that there is a facade, there is an illusion created, and I need to personally destroy that illusion and dig deeper and create a proper research before taking any step further. टावर का मतलब ये भी होता है कि जो भी डिसीजन ले रहे हो उसको थोड़ा सा डीले करिए एंड गेट योर फैक्ट्स राइट. ओके, I also believe that whatever situation is, okay, that the client is asking and I get a Tower about it, I definitely see that the people involved in that situation are not the right people for this particular task to be completed. Okay, because any which ways these people are falling, so whosoever is involved in the situation are not the right people to carry this task forward. Okay, so I need to probably go out and search for another people who can give me another perspective, or probably I need to seek more from other people. It also means that there are people who are challenging you, okay, and you need to stand up to them. Okay, it also means that you need to look or think probably from a different angle. What the attitude is might be outdated. Okay, the attitude around the whole situation or the belief around the whole situation is quite outdated, and you need to learn about a new perspective, a new situation. Okay, so that's about the Tower. Another thing, okay, and if at all this comes in a situations like love, people really fear, is this card, Three of Swords. Okay, now Three of Swords definitely sees that there is a heartbreak, that there is some that people are going to break your heart, people are going to break your trust. It can be said about grief, it can be said about sadness, it can be said about suffering. So apart from that, what I feel when I get Three of Swords is using your logical mind. So swords are all about thinking, swords are all about having a logical approach. So I always believe that Three of Swords is nothing but creating or thinking from a logical mind. It can also be said about Three of Swords that the truth is painful. Learn to accept the truth. It can also mean that you need to do cord cutting. Okay, it can also say that cut away from the lies. All right, so there are some lies involved in and around situation. Get your facts right. Okay, so when you start thinking logically, keeping your heart aside, you will understand what is the energy of this card. Okay, now moving ahead is this card, Nine of Swords. Now even this card says that there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of stress, the person is not able to sleep well. Okay, but this card also says that सारा खिचड़ी दिमाग में ही पक रहा है. Okay, this card also says that things are not bad as you are making up in your own mind. Don't add drama. Okay, we Indians are such dramatic people. We love to dramatize the things. Okay, so stop adding drama to whatever situation you are facing. Okay, it does not require that kind of being melodramatic. Okay, it does not require you to have such kind of attention. Okay, because the more attention you give from your worries, it creates more and more fear. So I always say that when this card comes up is take off your mind from that situation. You are not required to think about it. Sometimes leaving the situation as is the best remedy that you can do. Okay, so whenever Nine of Sword comes, I just say that leave the situation for some time, and you will see that, the situation automatically has improved. So sometimes not doing anything is the biggest boon that you can give it to yourself. And then we have this, of course. Even for this card, people feel that, this is about betrayal, this is about backstabbing, this is about that things have come to an end. But yes, about maybe, but the positive aspect is that if you notice, there is a peace sign, like this means, as a symbology, this means peace. So if we have peace, we can definitely have a calmer sea. Okay, so there is no more suffering. Okay, the worst is over, the best is coming. Okay, so there is a light at the end of the tunnel is about to end. Okay, this also says that whatever hidden facts are there will always come to the surface. It also says that, whatever has to be revealed to you will automatically come out. So hold on your grounds, do not again dramatize. All right, nor the tarot reader needs to dramatize the facts, but nor does the client need to dramatize. It just says that you have to hold your ground and look out for peace. And throughout swords as a suit, I always believe that it requires your logical mind to be in the place. Okay, the suits of swords is definitely about thinking. So whenever we put our thinking caps, we are required to put the logical thinking cap. Okay, so that's a thumb rule when it comes to swords. Then we have Five of Pentacles. Again, this is a very sad situation where finances are not enough, where we are seeking support and we are not getting enough support, or this is about poverty, this is about hardship, this is about insecurities. But at the same time, you can churn it, reframe it as that I need to learn more from the resources I have. Okay, this also means that I need to express my own needs. Probably I'm not expressing it right. Okay, so I also believe that whenever this card comes up, there is a communication problem. You're not communicating it properly. Okay, that it also means that it's an art to ask for help. Okay, most of the time people don't know how to ask for help. Okay, and being vulnerable is also okay. We are not superheroes all the time. We also need help, and universe will always make you give you help if you ask, leaving aside your egos. So I always believe that it is okay to ask for help when this card comes up. Okay, and I always believe that whenever this card comes up is that ego needs to be set aside, especially active ego needs to be set aside. Okay, then we have this card. This is also about winning some battles, breaking some people's heart, about losing something. Number 5 is always about conflict. Okay, so there is conflict, and how I reframe this card is choose your battles wisely. You don't have to fight each and every battle. Okay, so whenever this card comes up, I always say that it's not worth fighting, it's not worth it. All right, just leave it and let it go. All right, so whenever this card comes, you can always ask client to let go of the things, right? Because even if somebody wins into the situation, nobody is going to be happy. So have a bigger heart, have a bigger be a bigger person, and just let it go. All right, and lastly we have this card. Okay, now this card is also about crying, this card is also about grief. This card is also about sadness. This card is also about a lot of heartbreak, a lot of nagging happening. Okay, this card is also about bitching. Okay, but a little positive aspect of this card, I believe, is um, the situation is not that bad as we have made up again. Okay, so we need to see what is left with us and start building with it. Okay, we need to come out of our own cocoon and look out for the world. Okay, I also believe that when this card pops up, find that one friend with whom you can confide, and that friend can give you that happiness, that friend can give you that support, that emotional support is required. So look out for one friend in your life who is able to give you a shoulder, and not just to cry on, but to help you to stand on your own. Okay, so these were some of the cards which have very heavy energy in tarot, and I often call them as bad boys of my tarot. Okay, so these are baddest cards. They give you very brutal honest answer, but as a tarot reader, feel free to reframe it. Always reframe it, give a little hope, and to the client, so that they go out, when they walk out, they have the guidance that they need, and they know what is the action plan for them, so that they get what they want. All right, take care. Bye bye.